And in that task team, we had about 7 to 10 comrades. And in the task team, we had 4 of the officials except the president and the deputy president. The task team developed a perspective, and then we took the perspective which, on behalf of the task team and the officials and the NWC, I presented to the NEC. It was not the Ramaphosa idea that was planted in our heads. You see, when you run a cult, you know that all things come from the cult. And if you differ with the cult, you are guillotined. And you know cult organizations, how they operate here in our country. New and old, don't say you don't know, you know them. I mean, you know cult organizations, they decide about you even without any other process. So they guillotine you from the organization. The ANC doesn't operate like that. So President Ramaphosa wouldn't have brought an idea and say that, let's follow the idea, my people. I'm hoodwinking you to this idea. Remember, before we came to this discussion, we had our own discussion document on coalitions. And you must read that document. It's a perspective that we adopted for local government. And for the first time in Cape Town, I represented the ANC and I spoke about Grand Coalition. And it became a topical issue. Will you apply Grand Coalition or what mechanism for national government? We said we are fighting for outright majority. So when we arrived at the NEC, we presented the options and then we look at the option and the risks. And my brother, I can go through these options one by one and the risks that we mapped out. You can have a one-on-one discussion with me. And I'll explain to you why GNU, it doesn't mean that it does not have its own risk. It became an important option for the ANC. So we didn't go into it blindfolded. And we knew that some will not come in, they will rather opt out because they just want an arrangement. We didn't want an arrangement. We wanted a commitment to stabilize the country. Me and Zille, we will argue and differ forever and ever. And for whatever that she represents. The fact that I found myself around the table with her, I respect the will of the people. But that doesn't make me love GNU. The only thing that can take me out of GNU is the majority rule, which is in the next election. And that's what I'm working towards, together with the collective in the African National Congress. We invited all political parties and they agreed to come. We engaged, we adopted a statement of intent. And that's what has happened to South Africa. The African National Congress categorically rejects the baseless claims by Helen Zille regarding their alleged role in shaping South Africa's government of national unity. We view these claims as not only false but deliberately misleading, aiming to distort historical facts and elevate her importance in national matters where they lack any foundational relevance. Zille's repeated urge to interference in the internal affairs of the ANC and her ongoing public attacks on President Cyril Ramaphosa expose a shameless bid for power and influence, one she has neither earned nor will attain through such reckless posturing. We see through these calculated attempts to undermine the ANC's leadership. It is clear that Zille and her party seek only to weaken the ANC from within, hoping to gain what they cannot secure at the ballot box. This is not genuine criticism, but rather a desperate grasp at the relevance by a party failing to appeal to the vast majority of South Africans. As the ANC, we need no external figures to prop up our president. Our internal unity and the resolve of our members is testament to the mandate we have been entrusted with by the South African electorate. We stand as the legitimate representatives of our people, continuously renewing and strengthening our movement to uphold the will of the people. Zille's claims of introducing public-private partnerships to South Africa are nothing short of ludicrous. The ANC-led government has long pioneered cooperative projects that have led to the significant milestones, such as successful hosting of the 2010 FIFA World Cup and the development of the Gautrain, all achieved through effective planning and coordination under ANC leadership. To suggest otherwise is a transparent attempt to hijack the legacy of ANC-led governance for a party's political gain. In her remarks, Zille exposes her agenda to push herself into a position of undue influence within the GNU while undermining the ANC's foundational role. We need to make it very clear. If the DA want to leave the GNU, is their call. They can leave tonight, they can leave tomorrow. Anytime they want to leave or they wish to leave, they can go. This divisive narrative lacks both historical truth and relevance to our current transformation efforts. Her intent is clear: to delegitimize the ANC's leadership and derail the transformative projects that are central to our national democratic revolution. However, these tactics will not deter us. The ANC remains resolute in delivering on its commitments, including the national health insurance rollout, strengthening social cohesion through the Bella Act, and attracting investments to build a thriving economy for all South Africans. Her attempts to portray herself as influential in our country's future. The reality is that South Africans have repeatedly chosen the ANC to lead, a mandate reaffirmed through democratic processes. Zille's conduct is a vivid reminder of her own deep-seated racial biases and a divisive agenda that attempts to exploit identity politics rather than foster genuine unity. From orchestrated marches to the Voortrekker Monument, to openly exclusionary rhetoric, the DA's pattern of behavior speaks volumes about its intentions and underlying values. They march to Voortrekker Hoogte with an old flag and old colors in a democratic South Africa. They proudly stood there in a democratic South Africa with the backward forces in the name of fighting for what is good. As the ANC, we remain steadfast in our mission to serve all South Africans with all policies that address our country's real structural challenges. Zille's opportunism and identity-based divisions are a dangerous diversion, one that undermines the very fabric of our democracy and perpetuates the inequalities we are determined to eliminate. South Africans entrusted the ANC with a mandate to lead the GNU, and we will fulfill this responsibility with integrity, vision, and unwavering commitment to social justice. With our 40%, 6 million South Africans who have voted for us, we are in no mercy of everyone, Helen Zille, or anyone for that matter. We chose the path of the government of national unity, not because we did not have options. We chose the path of the government of national unity because we prioritized South Africa first. We prioritized our people. We prioritized stability for this country. And that is why we prioritized government of national unity. We invited everybody, not only the DA, and the DA wanted grand coalition. They wanted that, and we opted for GNU. And we can elaborate in the Q&A once and once again and repeat ourselves about this. We reaffirm our commitment to building a South Africa that is inclusive, progressive, and reflective of our democratic ideals. The ANC will continue to drive forward the transformation agenda, heedless of the Zille hollow rhetoric and relentless in its dedication to the prosperity and the unity of South Africans.